If you're looking for best practices for your bank or credit union, join us while we talk all things sales, marketing, and strategy for financial institutions. Let's make it happen with FiGrow Solutions.
Hi there, I'm Meredith Olmstead, CEO and founder of FiGrow Solutions, and I am here with Sophie Bawani. Say hi, Sophie.
Hi, guys.
Sophie is one of our inbound marketing specialists. She's also our social media kind of guru, and she knows so much about social media marketing and influencers and kind of how to leverage social media for inbound marketing for financial institutions. So we are an inbound marketing agency. We work exclusively with banks and credit unions. And I was just having a great conversation with Sophie about influencers in general and how a bank or a credit union should be better leveraging people in their communities, basically, or around them to kind of get the word out about what they do for their customers and their members. So I said, you know what, Sophie, let's stop. Let's hit record on this. I think this is really worth sharing with a wider audience. So I want to just pick her brain a little bit and let her share a little bit about what she's seeing that works really well. So first of all, in a nutshell, Sophie, what is an influencer? For people out there who are living under a rock and don't know what an influencer is.
No, it's a common question. Influencers are members of your community, somebody who has influence, somebody who posts on social media, has a following, and ideally any brand that wants to collaborate knows that that following and your target audience align. So it's like a relationship where you have people, we need to get to them, let's work together.
Right. So we did a podcast a couple of weeks ago, Sophie and I did, about how to pick an influencer, find an influencer that works with your institution. And we really talked about why they're beneficial for financial institutions. So I don't want to totally redo that entire conversation, but like in a nutshell, Sophie, like in one or two sentences, why is it good for a credit union or a bank to work with a local influencer?
I mean, I feel like every credit union we've worked with, everyone has the same goal, and that is to reach a larger audience. Your demographics are changing. When you have Gen Z and millennials on social media, the best way to get that message out is through social media.
Right. And also, honestly, that's where if your audience that you're trying to target is in these places, you have to meet them where you are. Like I'm always complaining if I'm dealing in a sales situation and I'm emailing somebody and they're calling me, I get super irritated because they're not respecting my channel of communication. It's the same when it comes to reaching a larger market in marketing or a larger audience in marketing. If those people are watching TV, then you would want to have advertisements in front of them on TV. If they're streaming, if that's where they used to be, if they were reading the newspaper, you'd put an ad in the newspaper. But in this case, you're really trying to reach a younger audience. And those people are interacting with influencers on a daily basis. So you need to be meeting them on those channels where they're already like living their life, basically. So, okay. So they say a financial institution, a credit union or a bank has picked an influencer and they're moving forward with them. What we wanted to talk about was, what do you have that influencer do? Like, what are you going to do? What are they going to accomplish now for your financial institution? So let's talk about what are some of the different kinds of content or different kinds of impacts that person can have going forward after you start the relationship.
So once you start the relationship, you want to set a clear expectation of deliverables, and based on what you need for your financial institution. If you think you have a lot of people coming in with questions, maybe a great option is to host a live Q&A session or a social media takeover where the influencer takes over your Instagram account or your TikTok and finds a compelling, fun way to answer questions so that the younger audience is engaged and listening.
Okay,
so
cool.
Yeah.
Something live. So it could be like a live event, either in person or it could be online, or it could be a combination. Could be something that they film in person, with a group, and then you put it online, like as a webinar or something. But also the thing that you said to me about how-to videos, which is why I said we need to make this as a podcast. What did you say about how-to videos and tutorials or whatever and influencers?
Yeah, 40% of our followers on Instagram are going on social media to learn a skill. So a how-to tutorial is always valuable. And people always think, well, how are we going to relate that with a financial institution? Some people don't know how to apply for loans. some people don't know the basics. Like a lot of the younger generation, if you say, hey, how do you get a car loan? They don't know. So an easy, fun way of teaching someone that short couple steps would go a very long way.
Yeah. Yeah. I think how-to videos, it's funny. We think of them being like, oh, makeup tutorials. And that's what I think. I'm old, so I'm like always wanting to figure out how do I do my makeup better, but you could do how-to tutorials with an influencer and achieve a very similar experience for people. Okay, cool. What else would you have an influencer do for a financial institution?
With short form content, we have short form videos and we have long form videos.
Okay.
Reels, it's a very common question, is how long should they be? That's like the question everyone asks. And there's a really simple answer, and I think you're going to enjoy it, Meredith. Your reels should be like mini skirts, long enough to cover what they need to, but short enough to keep and grab someone's attention.
Okay.
And that just depending on the topic or the subject, that the length varies, and that your financial institution and your strategist will work with you, and we can figure out how long or short you need to be.
And like I've seen influencers for financial institutions make like a 2-minute video grocery shopping where they're actually saying, okay, here's how you find the best value for something. This is how you find, sales on this. This is the best way that I would recommend that you budget around this category or that, or like, so you can kind of come up with some creative ways to give nice short pieces of financial advice. Doesn't have to be about, how do you use your app or how do you apply for a loan? It could be, how do you budget? How do you plan for the future? How do you make sure that you don't overdraft your checking account or whatever it is? So the financial, you have to let that influencer be creative and realize that financial advice comes in all shapes and sizes and forms, and it can be lots of different content that could, it goes out, it may go outside of your products and services, but it's still building trust and loyalty, and it's getting eyeballs and help reminding people, hey, you're there as a trusted advisor and somebody who has my best interests at heart. And that is going a long way to keeping people, connected with your brand and your institution.
And also to add to that, you also want to think about your audience. Like nobody, a 26-year-old doesn't want to hear about retirement savings. Like it needs to be something that's fun and compelling because they're probably on Instagram looking for funny memes or videos. So if there's a way to tie it in and kind of sneak in the education, that's a win for us.
Yeah. Is there anything else so a lot of this, we're talking about videos, a lot and how-to tutorials, long, short, webinars, those kinds of things. Any other kinds of content that you have seen work well coming from influencers?
Yeah, we have. I think Instagram started as a photo platform. So the static images and having these beautifully curated photos is always going to be a win. But with financial institutions, we like to tell them, especially with credit unions, outreach in the community, doing these events, doing book drives or any type of awareness. These are so important that it's really nice if you can have a beautiful image that just lives on an influencer's page, because it shows that you're not just there to take someone's money. It's bigger than just a transaction.
Yeah, I've seen too. I know we have an influencer that works like as a brand ambassador with one of our clients down in South Carolina. And I know she does a lot of blogging for that credit union as well. So that even, it doesn't have to be just images or videos. It could definitely even be like longer form content where it's written out. That does provide some value, especially on the websites. And also I think she goes to like live events, even with like TV affiliates and like around town. And they even have her, I think, on billboards in their local community. So those are all, there's really no limit to how much you can leverage these relationships. You just have to make sure that you have them kind of locked down and contractually, that all of that content that's being created does belong to the institution, and that you're very, very clear with your expectations with those relationships. So awesome. Is there anything else we missed on influencers?
It's an ongoing topic. I think it's always evolving, but it's always great to get the start of what you can ask for. And then once the conversation starts, every credit union has, unique needs. So working with a strategist, working with your digital ads agency, we can kind of create a plan for you that works with your brand.
And with lots of ideas. And then maybe you start the relationship slowly. So maybe you've got a 6-month, contract with an influencer, and, you've got 10 different things that you want to accomplish with that person over the course of that 6 months. Then after, 4 or 5 months, you reevaluate the relationship. If it's going well, maybe you renew it for 6 more months, but you up your game a little bit or add to the content you're creating. So awesome. Well, great stuff, Sophie. Thank you so much. Just a reminder, if you guys want to, learn more about influencers and social media for banks and credit unions, please visit FIGRO.com. We have lots of other episodes as well as blogs and case studies and all kinds of information on our website. And otherwise, let's just all get out there and make it happen.